Hello, and welcome to my personal project, Marshtown. Marshtown is an animation project that I'm building from the ground up, and you can find out more about it by clicking the link in the description below. The next few videos are going to be concept art for locations. In this one, I'm going to be painting a house for the gnome. So let's get to it. One of the things I wanted to really sort of nail in this story when I come to animate it and draw it properly is that I want the scale to reinforce the fact that a lot of these characters are very small compared to humans. We're talking about gnomes and fairies and things like that. So I want to create some nice perspectives low down to the ground and have some things that you can reference as, I know how big this should be for a human, and so the fact that it's much bigger compared to this character, it reinforces that sense of scale. So I spent some time with pencil and paper and tried to draw these roots in a perspective and try to really sort of give that sense of this being a lot larger and you're sort of looking up to it. And I did a few of these, but I found one that I thought I could work with. So I imported it into my painting software and started to draw over it. I've got some very simple silhouettes of some characters here to reference for scale: a human, a gnome, a fairy. And yeah, this is really sped up, you can tell, but in reality, it was quite a quick painting session as well, because I wanted to try out different ideas. Didn't want to get too down into the rendering side of things. I wanted to try out a few different roofs, maybe some grass roofs, some tiled roofs, thatch roofs. 3 things I do know about this house are: it's going to be for a gnome, it's built into a tree, or specifically into the roots of a tree, and it will have a greenhouse built around the side of it that he's going to be growing tobacco leaves in for his own personal use and maybe for trade. And that may have some sort of magical sun ray enhancing properties to it. Mostly everything else about the house can be changed. Play around with the roofs and the walls and try to find something that looks like it could exist, it could be real. And so that was my first idea for the house. And sometime after I finished this painting, it started to snow very heavily where I live, and me and my wife and my daughter, we went to our favourite local country park and decided to go for a walk. And I don't want to come across as a bit cheesy here, but it was really magical. It was like walking around in Narnia. It was just a lovely day, and I took these pictures that I found of these trees, and I got some really good references of these tree roots, and that was just a little bonus there. I thought, this looks exactly like the kind of place that I had in my head that Ogrod would be building his house into. So I took this reference, and again I brought it into my painting software and started to paint a different version of the house. And I loved the perspective on this photograph as well. I really got quite low to the ground when I took this one. Although I actually, if I remember correctly, it was on the top of a hill, so I was below it anyway. The story takes place in an imaginary place in the southeast of England, and it's not uncommon to see thatched houses here and there. So there's a lot of reference around locally for me to use when coming up for a design for this house. And that's it for this speed painting of Ogrods' house. At some point, I'm considering making a 3D model of the house that I can use to reference when I want to try out different camera angles. So that should be coming quite soon. That I'll make a video for that. But I hope you've enjoyed this and found it interesting. And please consider having a look at the other videos as they come, where I'll be doing all sorts of different stuff to do with this world. Story building, maybe a bit of music composition, field recordings, dialogue. There's all sorts to come. So if you're interested in making personal animation projects like this, maybe consider subscribing to the channel and having a look what I get up to. And I hope that you have a great day, a productive day, a creative day, and bye for now.